The Japanese denied the crucial information about the whereabouts of these American ships, lost 4 of their carriers, along with their precious aircraft, and ironically, almost all of the film that they had shot on December 7th. Today, mute reminders of that awful day still remain. Bullet holes in the barracks at Hickam Field, where dozens of soldiers and pilots were cut down. Damaged hangars on Ford Island. And the spectral scars left by bombs on the tarmac at Wheeler Field. In August of 2002, another ghost was found when the Hawaii Undersea Research Laboratory made an astonishing discovery. At 1,200 feet, they located a Japanese midget submarine. Here was physical proof that America had fired the first shots of Pearl Harbor. The veterans who had served on the ward had been vindicated.
A lot of speculation was, after looking for it for 60 years, they never found it. They thought, well, maybe they just thought they got it. I saw it going down, and I had no doubt in my mind that we had sunk it.
When Unsolved History heard of the discovery, we were determined to visit the wreck. Our reason was simple. We wanted to take one of the ward's crew back to 1941 so he could put the past to rest.
A lot of people said, you aren't going down in that thing 1,200 feet, are you? I said, you bet I will.
Now Will Lehner is about to take an extraordinary journey. And we are about to get a glimpse into war's future.
All stations to you, we have just received an intel report of a hijacked commercial airline that's now headed towards Washington, D.C.
Unsolved History has recreated one of the greatest secret missions of the Second World War, the Japanese midget sub-attack on Pearl Harbor. This attack may have been more successful than history has allowed. But we still have one more mission to accomplish. 84-year-old Will Lehner is about to go on the journey of his lifetime.
I mean, to come back to Hawaii, I've been back here 3 or 4 times, but I never thought that I would ever be able to come back and go down on a dive. That's the big thing.
On the morning of our dive, the mothership ferries the submersibles out to the location.
Pisces 4 is on the bottom at 387 meters over.
Pisces 4, Pisces 5, roger, go ahead.
Roger, stand south of us, 100 meters.
When I first saw it, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I could relive that whole thing over again. I could see it on the surface. I could see it going down. I could see it going under the ship. And now I saw it down on the bottom. And it was a great thrill for me. Everyone I would talk to, they said, well, you just thought you sunk it because there's no evidence. Now there's evidence. We can always say, we told you so. It was down there.
The fate of this sub has yet to be decided. It may be recovered and preserved, or left in place as a memorial. There is a reason. The bodies of the 2 Japanese submariners may still be entombed inside.
Sad that the two men had to lose their life in it. I mean, they had their job to do. They were young at that time, and I was young, and all my buddies aboard ship were young, and we had our job to do, and we did it. We were called into service, and we did our job.
The number 3 gun from the ward is now enshrined on the state capitol grounds in St. Paul, Minnesota. It stands in tribute to the untried crew, a group of Midwestern boys who defended their country with honor, skill, and bravery. Over 60 years later, we relived the shock of Pearl Harbor. Now on board the USS Fitzgerald, they prepare for a new kind of surprise attack.
We're still worried about the idea of a kamikaze-type aircraft. Since 9/11, there's always the worry of a terrorist aircraft being loaded with explosive that would come in and explode into a ship.
This scenario is an attack similar to the 9/11 atrocity, where a civilian airplane is turned into a suicide bomber. This is what would happen. First, the Fitzgerald's Combat Information Center is mobilized.
All stations scale, we have just received an intel report of a hijacked commercial airline that's now headed towards Washington, D.C.
All stations go on alert. With just seconds to spare, the Fitzgerald tries to contact the incoming airliner.
Unidentified aircraft, you are approaching a United States Naval warship operating in international waters. Request you state your intentions and establish comms immediately, over.
Lieutenant Commander Evans gets permission to fire from the Fitzgerald's captain. Permission is granted.
EWS on track.
Kill track number 7221 Windburn.
Radar-guided missiles target the incoming jet.
Confirm kill. Track. Repeat. Confirm kill.
We can weigh the consequences of our modern age. But one conclusion is inescapable. The Pearl Harbors we face today will share one thing with the past. They will surely surprise us.